Hi friends, welcome to week 2. So I wanted to provide you a really quick tutorial on how to access your digital copy of your ICD-10 manuals. So again, you will need to go back and review the announcement titled Reminder, Delay in 2025 Book Bundle Shipping. Okay, scroll down to Part 2, Accessing Digital ICD-10 and pick books. In week 2, you will utilize your ICD-10 manual to complete your weekly coding exam, okay? Steps are, you're going to click on this link. You will need to create an account since this will be your first time, or if it's not, just log in using your previous login information. And then this is the access code that you will copy and paste in order to redeem that digital copy. Okay, so I'm just going to click on the link here. And I'm already logged in, so actually let me log out really quick so I can take you through what it would look like for you as a student, okay? So click on the link. This will be the landing page for you, okay? And then you would select I'm a student. You will need to create an account, okay? So you would click sign in, and then you would need to select create an account. Once you have, and then let me just walk you through what it looks like to create an account. You're going to select student. You're going to put in your first and last name. This is my student account. You are going to want to use the same student number and student email to so the publisher can identify you. Institution, United States, whatever state you reside in. Program type, you will need to select medical coding insurance. Okay. Let me just put in my state here so everything pulls up for you. And then you're just going to start typing in Carrington, right? And then select the campus that that's closely, is next to yours. If not, you can just select Carrington College. Let me see what pulls up. Actually, your only choices are Las Vegas and Reno. Okay, that's probably because I selected the state of Nevada. So just out of curiosity, if I went Washington and I put in the institution name, right, it's going to pull up the Spokane campus, right? So it's going to be based off of the state that you select. Okay. So here I am in Nevada. Carrington, select my campus, program type, medical coding insurance, select I'm not a robot, and then select submit, okay? Now, once you have created your account, then you can come over here, and I'm going to go ahead and sign in, right? Because that would be the next step. And then what you would need to do is you would select redeem an access code or enter an evolve course ID. And this is where you're going to put in that UC6GV7X63543. That is your redemption code. Now, I've already redeemed my books, okay, so I'm going to take you to the next step. The next step is you will want to go to your ebook library, okay? You may need to agree to their terms, privacy notices. You may have some additional prompts, right, as a first-time register. So just flow through whatever additional steps that they may ask you. Once you've agreed to their terms, end user account holder terms, then you can come back. You may even need to sign back in. And then the final step will be go to ebook library, okay? And then once you have access, once your ebook library loads, here's my recent activity. So these are the 2 new books that I redeemed. And then let's select the 2024 And by the way, guys, when your hard copy coding manuals arrive, they will be the 2025 version, okay? This is just a temporary solution. You would select the ebook 2024 ICD-10 Manual. And at this point, I would recommend, okay, reviewing the additional announcements in your MBC 10 theory course. So this week I've released, let me view this as a student here so you can, so everything looks the same. All right, so you can see I have posted some practice videos, ICD-10 practice videos, some pre-quiz coding material. So again, utilize this and get comfortable using that digital manual, right? I actually walk you through tutorials on how to look up a code. So even though it's a digital copy, right, you can still perform the same exact steps. All right, so here I am. I'm going to select the ebook. And even though it's a digital copy, it's laid out exactly how your physical manual will be laid out, okay? So always starting in the alphabetic index, everything goes A through Z alphabetically. You can also use the magnifier up here and you can search across the book. When you search for a keyword, it's going to take you to the tabular section where those codes reside. So as an example here, I'm going to type in hernia, okay? And when I type in hernia, right, hernia is the disease, it's a condition. And what happens is, and to get rid of this table of contents on the left-hand side so your full book expands, click the 3 lines over here. And when you do that, it gets rid of that table of contents. And then also you can just click out of that search bar once you find what you're looking for, okay? And then you can just search through just based off of the keyword or description of the condition. Actually, you know, what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to select one of these codes just as an example here from your quiz this week so I can show you how to look one of these up. All right, so question 1 on this week's quiz is going to be pigeon toes, both feet. So that's question 1. So pay attention to this, right? You're getting a bonus little bonus code here. So it's telling you that 2 codes is going to be required and to separate each code with a comma and a space. All right, so anytime that 2 codes are required, that is the standard when applying them in the quiz. Put a comma and then put a space. All right, so here we go. So notice I am copying, right, the description of the term. And actually, when it says both feet, that's going to be a detail you're going to find in the manual itself. So pigeon toes is the actual problem or condition, right? The fact that it's occurring on both feet is an additional detail, and we'll get to that. So you're going to just click copy, right, to pigeon toes, come back over to your ICD-10 manual, click that magnifier, and then I'm going to paste the word pigeon toes, okay? And I'm going to search. Let's see what comes up. There we go. All right, so a lot of information comes up. You will see that it tells us for pigeon toe, it says for toe, go see deformity toe specified. Okay, so if I went over here and just clicked on this on page 390, okay, you can see here, it even highlights it for us, right? Which is amazing. So if you put in pigeon toes and nothing came up, type in pigeon toe and start there, okay? Instead of making it multiples, okay? So here we go, we got pigeon, and then you'll see toe. and then it gives you some additional directions. So the book says you have to go see the word deformity first and then toe and then specify not elsewhere classified. So what do you do now? Okay, so you're going to come back up here to this search bar. And this time I'm going to type in the word deformity. And let's see if I can put a comma and then toe and see what pops up here. All right, alphabetic index, there's deformity limb, deformity pelvis, deformity defect, finger, limb, where's toe? Still looking. And I have to play around with this a little bit. Let's see if I put in deformity toe, what would happen? We may just have to go through this on our own. Everything's alphabetical. So right now I'm just flipping through the index pages to get to the D's. I'm glad I'm looking this one up with you. All right, so you just really have to just scroll through here, following the original directions under pigeon and toe to go see deformity. Oh, here we go. When you slide it, this is new to me, by the way, guys. This is my first time using this digital manual. This little slider down here, oh, there we go. Notice how it changes the letters, right? So H, there's D. So D's start on page digital. Let's see here. There's dysplasia. So we need to go back a little bit. Disorder. Everything's alphabetic. So we got to get to DE for deformity. Deficiency. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. All right, check this out. There's deformities. Okay. And then we're going to start looking and finding that next term that we were guided to, which was deformity toe. Limb, foot. So I know this is kind of small here. Every time I try to zoom in more, it actually makes it smaller over here. So hang on a second. Let me see if I can get rid of this. It won't let me get rid of this on the, there we go. That's how you get rid of it. Click on workbook and then just X out of it. Now we have our full page back, okay? And then once you find that key word, right, the condition itself, which is it's deformed, and then what part of the body is deformed, the toe, we just have to keep scrolling through. Everything again is alphabetical, so now I'm just scrolling through. There's toe. So toe is on page 191. Okay, again, this is just your starting point. So now we have followed the directions from the original entry, which was pigeon, toe, and then it said go see deformity, toe, specified, not elsewhere classified. NEC stands for not elsewhere classified, okay? So now you have a starting point, okay? M20.5X. Now, notice that there's a dash and a stop sign or a little red dot. That means that we need to have additional characters. This is not the end of the journey, okay? This is the beginning. So what I recommend to you guys is because coding is 2 steps, index and then tabular, get a piece of paper, write down the index code, okay? So M20.5X, and we need to give more, and we know that why? Because there's a dash and a stop, a little red dot for a stop sign. Now what do? Now we need to get into the tabular section and see what additional characters we need to apply to make this a valid billable diagnosis code, okay? So what we'll need to do, now I've got my code written down, is I'm going to click back here, and I want to take us to the, oops, I went too far. All right, let me go back into the manual. All right, so index, and then we want to go to, so right now we're in the index, right? So now we need to go over to the tabular section where this particular code, which is M20.5X, is housed, and see the additional information that's provided there. So what we're going to do is you're going to come over here to part 3. Part 3, ICD-10 tabular list. So when I'm talking about the tabular section, this is what I'm referring to. This is where the full description of those diseases is housed. Okay, so index is your starting point, then we go over to the tabular. Click on it. Now you're at the beginning of the tabular section, and again it goes chapter by chapter. So this first chapter, notice it's A through B, right? And our code starts with an M. So what we need to do is you can click on this little blue arrow here to the left of part 3, tabular list of diseases and injuries. Notice that it expands the chapters, and then each chapter has letters. So chapter 3, chapter 4 starts with an E. Chapter 5, the codes start with the letter F. M codes are your musculoskeletal diseases. Okay, so we want to be in chapter 13. Okay, and then M20.5X. So this is the very first page of chapter 13. This is what it's also going to look like in your real physical manuals when you get them. And we can see here that M20, category M20 through M25 is going to be other joint disorders. All right. So what we really have to do at this point is we just, again, you're just going to have to scroll through the pages. And then just pay attention to these first 3 letters, right? So M02, we got a ways to go. If you scroll with the little scroll search bar down here, it kind of pops up and tells you what code range is on each individual page. So I'm just scrolling right now so I get to M20. There we go. And then I just let go of my, all right, I went too far. That's M24. M24. It'll get you close, right? And then you're just going to have to search around a little bit. M23, M21. All right, getting there. M20. Okay, now we're at the beginning of the M20 other joint disorder category. Now remember, you have that code, right? M20.5X. So now we're looking for this whole code now that we've found where that category or that particular section for those disorders is housed at within our tabular section. So now M20.5. So notice how the codes start to grow. M20.0. Ah, there we go. M20.5. M20.5X. There we go. So notice it says other deformities of toe or toes acquired. So this is where we're going to get the both feet. Okay. So notice there's a code M20.5X1 for the right foot. There's a code M20.5X2 for the left foot. Our coding quiz says both feet. So what you will do is you're going to enter, and let's see if we can copy this. Copy, paste, comma, space, okay? And then get your second code here. Copy, paste. So in your manuals, whether digital or physical copy, right? Anytime you see a stop sign next to your code, it means that it is not a complete code. You got to add more detail. So you're looking at the code description or disease description and determining what details do they want. Well, they want to know what foot, and if it was both feet and there isn't a code that's specific for both feet, just a singular code, you have to apply one for each individual foot in this particular scenario. Okay, so use your practice material. The practice material includes the answer key, right? So you can kind of guide yourself and start to get comfortable with the flow and know that you're confirming the right code so you can practice for your live exam. Okay, all right. I hope this is helpful. I'm happy to help you guys access these books if you have any issues. Yeah, happy to help. I hope this will support you in this week's exam. And again, once the coding manuals are released from the publisher, beginning on January 19th, then you will have physical copies of these books. All right. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this.